Connection. Connection's such a beautiful thing. There's so many wonderful people out in this big, wide world, and every person's like a library. And those libraries, they've just got so much to teach us. But it took me a while to realise that if we keep visiting the same libraries, well, we'll keep learning the same thing. So find a library that's so unique and diverse and different to you, and lean in and see what beautiful lessons await you. I remember sitting in a room with a group of seniors and young people, running some activities around connection. And at the end of the workshop, one of the seniors, she looked at the youth and she said, "Well, at the start of this process, I was scared of you." And then you could see in the young people it was their turn. And one of the kids stood up and said, "Well, I was scared of you." And then they smiled, they ran to each other, they hugged, because guess what? They were connected. And those two libraries met and taught each other something wonderful. You see, in a world that sometimes has a way of creating groups and gangs and cliques and tribes, well, I'm just a bit more interested in a world that understands that we're all in this together. And as Father Greg from Homeboy Industries says, there is no us and them, there is only us. And Mother Teresa, well, she got it right when she said, if we have no peace, it's because we've forgotten that we belong to each other. And it's when we lose the connection or find a problem to break the connection that we start to lose our kindness and our love with each other. I just want to tell you a little story about being out in East Arnhem Land, and I was working with a bunch of kids from one of the communities. And I'd finished the workshop, I was feeling pretty proud. I was like, oh, it was a good workshop. And this little kid popped out of nowhere with a book in its hand and looked at me and looked up, book in hand. So what do? Well, I picked the kid up, put the kid next to me. The kid opened the book and starts to point at a picture. And it's pointing at a crocodile. And the kid says, Baru, Baru, Baru. And I'm like, Baru? What's... And then it clicks. Baru means crocodile. Aye. And then the kid points to a snake and says, Buppy, Buppy, Buppy. And up there, Buppy means snake. And so I sit with this young person and I just start to realise that this kid had a lesson for me. And if I was so proud and thinking that I had it all going on, I would have missed this beautiful lesson from this kid. Because libraries, they can be young, they can be old, but they've all got the most beautiful lessons for us. And so let's treasure our old ones and treasure our young ones and make sure together we learn that there is no them and us. There is only us.